without someone to think about a building and build it for us, that's an engineer, by the way, you would have nothing above your heads to protect you from the rain and the storm, or to any place to go to school. Everything around you in this room has been engineered, from the ceiling to the desk you're sitting on, and the shape and everything, so it doesn't fall over, right? And this gentleman hit it right on the head. They want to know the technical aspects of how things work. That's how engineers function. So you can't design and build technology without knowing how they work, right? So that's the key here. Engineering is a way of thinking about how things work. Not only things like technologies that people make, but also the world around us. So if you can think of any problem, whether it be with something in your hand that you want to fix, which everyone thinks an engineer fixes things, but they also solve any problem, right? Whether it be between people or between, let's say, two people arguing, or something that's not working, or any sort of problem. If you can figure out how all the parts work and put them together to solve a problem, you're thinking like an engineer, okay? So engineers are so important because, as you know, Liberia has some problems that need solving, right? And technology and thinking about all these details and how everything works together is what we need in the country. And that's why we're hoping that people like you will go into careers in engineering, because it's so, so important to our future. So let me tell you a little bit about this technology, right? It's still kind of a strange word, right? There's different types of technology, so that means there's different types of engineers, okay? Myself, I'm a mechanical engineer. Now you think of mechanic, right? It's like someone working on a car, right? No. Mechanical engineers work on so many more things than cars. In fact, mechanical engineers work on anything that moves. Anything that moves is what a mechanical engineer can work on. So that's a car, right? They move along, their wheels are turning, and if you hit a bump on the road, you don't want your wheels to fall off or your car to explode, right? That's what mechanical engineers are there. They design and build the technology so that when you hit a bump, everything will stay in place and continue to work when you go down the road. You go really fast, you know? Also, they make anything that moves and creates energy, right? So let's say the wind is blowing and it blows across a wind turbine. Have you heard of wind turbine? Wind power, yes? Who's heard of wind power here? No one heard of wind power? You can create energy from the wind? Oh, high school students. Okay, we're going to teach you about this at our camp. I'll continue to talk. Solar power. Who knows about solar power? Who's heard of solar power? Okay, we got a little more people. You've heard how you can create energy from the sun, and that hits a solar panel and then creates electricity, right? Mechanical engineers work on that because it's about moving parts, right? Not only mechanical engineers, but civil engineers. So civil engineers are kind of the opposite of mechanical engineers because they design things that are not supposed to move, ever. And these are things like bridges and roads, right? If you design a bridge that moves, you're in big trouble. You want that bridge to stay in one place for a long time and have cars driving over it for long periods of time. You make structures like buildings, that will not fall over. You make river canals and you make water systems that will be designed to stay in one place and not move. That's what civil engineers work on, and they're so important, especially for roads and bridges. How are the roads in Liberia? Are they good, medium, or bad? Bad. Okay, they're bad to you. Some roads are good, right? Some have paved roads, and then you see that those roads have been engineered by someone. And then you get to the dirt road, and those have not been engineered by people. They're really dirty and really bumpy. If we only had civil engineers to design them, to make sure that when the rainy season comes, these roads will not have giant puddles on them, but instead the water will run off and you can still use the road. And then you could get from Banga to Harper in like 2 hours instead of 2 days, all right? It's such an important thing that civil engineers are here for, and we need them for the infrastructure, like you said, okay? That's a civil engineer. There's so much more. Civil engineers work on the things outside, that don't want to be moved. Mechanical engineers work on all the things that move. Electrical engineers, how about them? You see these little sockets? What do I put in there? Put a light bulb, right? And suddenly it'll turn on, right? How does that light bulb turn on? Do you know? Current. Current. This guy has it. What is current? How do you get current? From a machine? Okay, alright. What kind of machine? Generator. That's the key here. A lot of people in Liberia use generators, right? They create electricity, and that electricity you feed through wires, right? These thin wires you see everywhere. And you create it from, let's say the generator's out there near the trees, and you bring it out here through wires, and now you have electricity because you connected the generator to the light bulb. You have electrical system. These are what electrical engineers think about. They're connecting the energy source, like the generator, or wind. You can create energy from the wind, or you can create energy from the sun. You don't just need a generator. You can create electricity from all sorts of stuff. You need diesel. You need dirty diesel, right? It's smelly. It comes from the ground. It's really dirty. Sometimes you can use cleaner or renewable sources of power, like wind and solar power, or even biomass, like growing things with agriculture and then burning them and then creating electricity. Then you don't need the diesel fuel. It's just as important. So electrical engineers think about getting energy in the form of electricity to you. Not only lights. What else needs to be plugged in? Anything? What else do you plug in for electricity? A battery. All right. What else?
Freezer.
What else is powered by batteries? Yeah, refrigerators. What else? Come on. What's in your pocket? Exactly. Cell phones. Everyone has cell phones now, right? There's so many people that have cell phones. Yeah. Without something to plug into, you'll never be able to use that cell phone ever again, right? It needs electricity. And it has all these little tiny parts. If you open up the cell phone, you'll see little microchips and pieces. Electrical engineers design those so that when you press a button, the phone will turn on and all these things will happen, and then you can call people. It's all electrical engineering. How about computers? Computers are the most important new electrical engineering technology in the last 10 years. And it's going to get so much more important in the future. And it's so important that everyone in this room learns how to use computers effectively and quickly, so you can write papers, you can write reports, you can do really complex calculations. You can talk to people from across the world just in a snap of a finger. See, computers are technology, and they're designed to make our life better. And that's why they've been made. And you can be the next person to design the next technology that makes our life better here in Liberia. Okay? So that's why these things, right? These cars, these electric generators, these lights, these cell phones, these computers, they're all here to make our life better. The roads and bridges especially as well. So those are the different types of engineers. There's one more type called a mining engineer. Have you heard of mining engineering? It's the type of engineering that deals with getting our natural resources out of the ground. Like iron, right? We have iron ore in the ground underneath our feet. And you need, if you dig deep and mine it, you can get it out. But you need to be careful because people who are miners, right? They're Liberians, they're our neighbors. They go down there, they're getting in danger, right? And the mining engineers make sure they do that safely so the whole mine doesn't cave in, right? They need to build the mine in such a way that it won't cave in. And you need to make sure the operation happens in such a way that, let's say there's granite, right? There's granite in the geology, so there's stones and rocks under the earth, right? So if you disrupt that, it'll all cave in. So you need to know about the earth around you, and you need to know how to be sustainable with the environment so you don't mess up any of the agriculture in the area, or even worse, mess up the groundwater. Let's say there's groundwater and you're mining, and you make it dirty for everyone in the village next door. Can't happen. So that's why you need a mining engineer to be sustainable in your mining operation. So important. So those couple different types. There's so many more. There's biomedical engineers. There's aerospace engineers. There's chemical engineers. There's agricultural engineers. There's financial engineers. There's so many different engineers. You just think of different types of things. Anything that exists has been engineered. Engineering is everywhere. That's the key, okay? It's everywhere. Anything that's been made by us has been engineered. And that's why it's so important to have more. Because there's not enough technology availability here in Liberia, and we need more people to understand them and to use them and to design and build them so we can move this country forward and make our lives better. That's the key here. Before I stop, that's kind of the thing about engineering. Let me tell you about University of Liberia. They have an engineering program, so I hope you're starting to think, hey, do I want to be an engineer? Do I want to be a kind of person who works with technology, knows how it works, be able to design it and build it and make people's lives better that way? If you do, consider going to college at University of Liberia, because they have engineering programs here. They have 3 types of engineering you can study. Electrical engineering, getting our lights and our electronic appliances, knowing how energy transfers over wires. So important. Next is civil engineering, the people who make the roads and the bridges. Super important as well. And third is the mining engineering program. So the people that extract our natural resources out of the ground and make sure it's done safely. you want to be another type of engineer, it's okay. You study certain types of engineering here, and you can branch into them when you get hired by companies. Like James said, there's companies looking to hire all sorts of people with different skills, and you can get that at the University of Liberia in many ways. That's what we're developing, a center of excellence. You go there, you'll be excellent. You'll be an excellent student. You'll be an excellent engineer, and then it's time for you to make your country better by being one. Okay? So that's basically everything about engineering. I also want to tell you one more thing, is that engineering and agriculturists, we were telling you about these two careers, right? It's like one's way over here and one's way over here. But really, engineering and agriculture, they work together all the time. Because imagine you're a farmer right now. Imagine you're a farmer. You have a plot of land. Imagine it be cassava or banana or rice or whatever. You have it, right? You have all this stuff growing. Now, how are you going to, let's say you have a mile of it. You have a giant farm. How are you going to harvest it?
You need a machine.
You need a machine, is that what you said? Now who's going to bring that, who's going to make that machine for you? Ah, that's right. You need an engineer. What else do you need? Let's say now you have just dirt, a big mile of dirt and seeds. What do you need? What do you need to make your seeds grow? Fertilizer and water, right? Now how do you get water to such a giant, are you going to go with a little jar, just kind of pour on each space? No, what are you going to do? Did someone say irrigate? You need to irrigate the land. You need irrigation systems. Without engineers to design, especially mechanical engineers who know how fluids move through pipes, to design the irrigation system. So when you turn on one button far away in a big tank of water, it'll all go out to all the plants automatically, just like that, through technology. And now farmers can have giant land and have lots and lots of money because they're selling lots and lots of crops because they know how to use technology with their farming. So now the farmers and the technologists are working together. And let me tell you one more thing. Agriculture is used for food, as you know, but did you know it's also used for much more than food? And with the help of engineers, that can be possible. Food, yes, is important, but also energy. Have you thought about this? You can create energy like in the generator through agriculture. So if you grow something like grass or sugarcane or anything, you cut that down. That has energy, right? You put it in a container, you can burn it, right? You can burn. There's been bushfires, you know these things can burn. Anything that burns has energy in it. And if you harness that energy and turn a turbine, you can create energy like in a generator. So now this is called biomass. Have you heard of biomass? It's a plant that can be burned for energy. So agriculturists can create crops not only for food, but for energy. So you can get lights on in your house and plug in your computers and use your cell phones. Now there's so many more ways. Not only energy, chemicals and materials. What are you sitting on right now? What is it made out of? What did that come from? Agriculturists. They grew lots of trees in some land and they cut it down, and now they brought that wood to be made by engineers and by construction into these desks that you are sitting on right now. You need agriculture for materials. So, you also need it for medicine. Let me just let you know, people feel better because of plants. And without the help of engineers to turn that material and process it into something that can be used and put into our mouth is an engineering problem as well. So we need engineers all across the map, and I hope you understand how important it is and how so many options for just having fun and working with different things you have. So, I guess I can't stop yet because I need to tell you one more thing, and that's about this summer camp, right? You mentioned there's a summer camp this summer for people interested in engineering and agriculture. That's why we're here, that's why we're here. This summer, July 9th through the 20th. If you are interested in agriculture or engineering, you're going to come to this summer camp. We want you to sign up today, right after we're done. If you're interested. We'll only take the best and brightest students. We'll take them to our summer camp. It's at Zozo, ZRTTI. You're going to go there for 2 weeks. You're going to sleep there every night. You're going to eat 3 meals a day there with us for 2 whole weeks. So you're going to get up every morning, you're going to eat breakfast, and then you're going to go to our camp every morning from 9 to 5. and you're going to go to classes while you're at camp. So this is normally a vacation time for you, but we want you to focus more and go to this camp, right? So this is why. This is why you want to be at our camp. Listen all. This is why. At our camp there will be classes where you get to learn about what I'm telling you, engineering. You get hands-on skills where you get to build your own bridges. You get to build your own small bridges. You get to get hands-on skills and know about all the different types of engineering I told you about. You get to really learn about them and see which one you want to do. So if you don't know specifically what kind of engineer or agriculturist, like an agronomist or an entomologist, that's okay. You can use this camp as a way to help you determine what you want to do. But if you're interested, you can be part of this. We're going to do classes. I'm going to be teaching classes in computer skills and in engineering. So you're going to learn how to use computers. If you don't know it as much now, you can learn. There's going to be math. There's going to be botany, like plant science for people who are interested in agriculture. And there's going to be physics and physical science for people interested in things like engineering and how things work together. So it's going to be great classes when you come out of that school, when you come out of that summer camp, like as a 10th grader or 11th grader, you're going to have so much knowledge about engineering and above all your classmates that you're going to be so ready for college. In 2 years' time, you'll know what you want to do, right? You'll have that extra knowledge you need as a young high school student to equip you with the skills that can get you ready for college, and they'll accept you like that because you'll have these great skills, you'll be excited, you'll be ready. So that's why we have these camps, to prepare you for college in engineering and agriculture. So we hope that you'll sign up to come to our camp again. It's July 9th through the 20th. If you are interested and you feel like you are qualified to be at our camp, come sign up with us at the front. And that is it. So now we just want to take your questions. If you have any questions for us about what an engineer is, if you don't understand, that's okay. I can tell you more. What an agriculturist is, ask us about the scholarship that we're offering, about our summer camp. Let us know. And that's it.